5, I got Devin White last year, number 4, dropped one spot. Um, has nothing to do with anything with in terms of him being worse at all. His numbers did drop though, so I mean that was kind of into play. But at the same time, he's still impactful, still a huge impact for his team, and now he's going to be a huge impact for his new team. Great for the Bucks for years, got him a Super Bowl, and now he's moved on. So looking at Devin White, 26 years old, 5 years in the league. He signed a 1 year, $4 million contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. Definitely feel like he's a little disrespected in terms of the contract. I think he should have gotten paid more, but I think he'll earn that contract this year with Philly. I do believe he'll be a huge leader for him. You're looking at 14 games that he played, 83 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 6 pass deflections, and 5.5 stuffs. For the postseason, played Detroit and Philly. He only amassed 3 tackles. So no All Pros, no Pro Bowls, but the potential is there for both of those. I do believe Devin White is a monster, and I do believe that on any given Sunday, you definitely want a guy like him. So overall, though, Philadelphia definitely gained a great playmaker, and I think their defense will definitely benefit from, especially with them having issues with inside linebacker last year. This is a huge upgrade for them. We're going to take a look at Nick Bolton last year, number 6 inside linebacker in the league. He's definitely gotten up there for me just because of the production that he's had. This postseason, he was phenomenal. But I mean, his impact. When you look at the Chiefs, you're taking a look at guys like Mahomes, and Kelsey, the the offensive line, Derrick Jones. I don't think really many people actually take an interest or actually understand how impactful Nick Bolton is. He is the middle of the field. He's like the second line of defense, and he does a great job of being a tackling machine, a playmaker, and exactly what you need. He's responsible for 2 of their Super Bowls in this dynasty, and he's done wonders for their defense. And they definitely have a rich history of having linebackers. Having a guy like Nick Bolton has been fantastic, and they're going to need to sign him big money this offseason. So either or, some big time linebacker. They're going to Nick Bolton, 24 years old, 3 years in the league. He's got 1 year, $3.11 million on his rookie deal left. 8 games that he played, 60 tackles, 1 interception, 3 pass deflections, and 1 stuff. In the playoffs against the Dolphins, Bills, Ravens, and Chiefs, he had 40 tackles, 1 pass deflection, and 2 stuffs. He had as many tackles as he had the whole year. Yeah, he was dominant. Definitely a guy that you need on your team, and they need him to be fully healthy. So it'd be nice to see him fully healthy. If he's fully healthy, I do believe he's top 3 inside linebacker in the league, no question. Just a great presence for him and a great leader, X factor for sure. Yeah, Nick Bolton deserves to be high on this list and very deserving. Number 3, Bobby Wagner, last year at number 2. Very deserving of being on this countdown, future Hall of Famer. I do believe when it's all said and done, he will have the total tackles record. Absolutely. He's chasing Ray Lewis. He wants to chase Ray Lewis, and he's going to get that, honestly. London Fletcher's, he's close by, and Bobby wants that. So I do believe, at the high level that he's playing, I don't see him stopping at all. Just the ability of what he's able to do. Um, he will get a statue in Seattle at some point just because of his impact for the Seahawks for these many years. And now he's going to a different team again. So will Seattle have him back? Who knows? Um, More than likely, I feel like they'll just get him back eventually again, and he'll retire there. So overall, Bobby, 34 years old, 12 years in the league, 1 year, $6.5 million on the deal. Um, Played 17 games. He had 183 total tackles, which led the league. Crazy for the veteran that he is. 3.5 sacks, 1 fumble recovery, 3 pass deflections, and 21.5 stuffs, which is insane. Um, And with all that, he got himself a Pro Bowl and a second team All Pro. Again, very deserving. Definitely a guy that you want on your team. He's going to the Commanders now for that year, and I think it's a much needed veteran presence for him. They're definitely looking to do something there and try to get to the playoffs, first time in a long time. But I mean, are they ready for anything major? No. That's why I believe Bobby. I could see him coming back to Seattle and trying to get himself maybe another shot at winning it all. So overall, though, Bobby Wagner very deserving, and yeah, again, future Hall of Famer. Number two, it's Roquan Smith. Last year was number three. This year up to number two. Yeah, what can I say about Roquan? He's a scary specimen of a guy. Definitely a person that every Sunday brings it and balls out to the fullest extent. Definitely a key piece to that Ravens defense and someone that they needed to re-sign when they traded for him. And yeah, I mean he's been great ever since. Definitely not I mean, I'm definitely upset over the Patrick Queen loss, but Roquan's going to still do what he does and lead a really good defense in Baltimore. Definitely, um, you know, besides Fred Warner, um, just a guy that's just immediate impact all the way around. And someone that you just can't lose. It's a huge loss when you lose a Roquan Smith on your team. And like I said, he's been doing this for a while. He'd be looking like a veteran, but he's still got so many years ahead of him. Roquan, looking at him, 27 years old, 6 years in the league, 4 years, $73 million on the contract, 16 games played, 158 tackles, 1.5 sacks, one forced fumble, one interception, 8 pass deflections, and 8 stuffs. Against the Texans and the Chiefs, he had 23 tackles for 1.5 stuffs. He was eighth in the Defensive Player of the Year voting. He was a Pro Bowler and a first team All Pro, very well deserving. Just an overall great year, capped off with great accolades for him. I think he's going to continue to do what he does. I don't think there's anything slowing down Roquan besides injuries, and there's really not much of a injury history that he has. Not to jinx him, definitely need him on the field this year for all these games. But yeah, a huge pivotal player. Definitely a guy that I would like to see win a Super Bowl championship. One, I don't think it's huge debate here at number one. It's Fred Warner. Last year, same thing. He was number one. He's still the number one inside linebacker in the league for the 49ers, for the league. Yeah, you look at a 49ers team, they're loaded with talent. You think about Kittle, you think about Debo still. You guys still start thinking about Brock Purdy in there. But you got to think about Fred Warner on the other side. Definitely with Nick Bosa, he's more impactful than him. He is the captain of that team, the captain of that defense. He's the guy that's going to keep the motor running. Definitely, they lose a Fred Warner. It's definitely it's bad. It is bad because it is a really big leader that does everything 100% every play. So having him, for an injury or whatnot, his impact is crazy, and is someone that you really need on your team. So overall, Fred Warner just has all the intangibles. Extremely smart football player, high IQ, just makes the right play at the right time, and just reads the QB extremely well. You're looking at Fred Warner, 27 years old, 6 years in the league, 3 years, $56 million on the deal. 17 games he played, 132 tackles, 2.5 sacks, four forced fumbles, four interceptions, 11 pass deflections, and 11 stuffs. Against Green Bay, Detroit, and the Chiefs, he had 33 tackles, one pass deflection, and 3 stuffs. He was sixth in the Defensive Player of the Year voting, Pro Bowl, and a first team All Pro. All of it well deserved. Definitely a guy that will continue to be All Pro, and he's got a lot of time left on his hands. So we'll see a lot more of Fred Warner. And San Fran. I mean, they're honestly lucky to have him for 3 years, especially with the amount of players they will have to pay eventually.